is made up of photons, right? Even the screen itself is made up of vibrations, right? So the picture is in your consciousness. And whether you see a woman or you see a skull is a choice in consciousness. You make a choice in consciousness, and then you recognize the choice you made in consciousness as the picture on the screen. When in reality, there is no screen and there is no picture out there. What you're seeing is an activity of yourself in consciousness as either the woman or the skull. How many people can see a man playing a saxophone? A woman? Again, you're not doing anything to the picture on the screen because there is no picture on the screen. Okay? And there is no screen either. They are both activities in your consciousness, as is your own body. How many people can see a word there? And what's the word? Famous poem of William Blake. We are led to believe a lie when we see with and not through the eye that was born in a night to perish in a night while the soul slept in beams of light. So for most people, their soul is sleeping. This week, wake up the soul so you can see beyond the lie. If you can see it, if you can touch it, if you can taste it, smell it, it's part of the lie. Okay? Don't trust your senses. How many people can see a young woman looking away? How many people can see a mother-in-law? Same picture, a little more interesting. We have the father-in-law, the mother-in-law, and the daughter-in-law. What you see out there is an activity in your own consciousness. How many people can see a bird? A rabbit? Okay, this is the world we inhabit these days because this is the world we have manifested. From a very primitive response that uses our reptilian brain, 300 million years old. When I was in medical school, we used to remember this brain as the 4 F's: feeding, fighting, fleeing, and reproduction. And the projection of this state of consciousness is this world. Whether it's war, terrorism, poverty, all the epidemics of humankind, eco-destruction, it's an expression of a fragmented consciousness, a fragmented collective consciousness. But this could be another world that we create. That we move from that fragmented state of consciousness to a higher consciousness where we experience ourselves as how we really are. Is this the real body or is that the real body? Well, the physical body that you experience is experienced in consciousness, right? Can you experience your light body in consciousness? Sure, that's a choice. Just so like you saw the woman or the skull, you can see your body as this or you can see your body as that. It's a choice in consciousness. In fact, this is the real body. What the ancients call the light body or the astral body, or beyond this, the consciousness body, the subtle body. And it's a subtle shift in consciousness. Just like when you saw those pictures, it was a subtle shift in consciousness, this or that. And if a number of us started to experience ourselves the way we really are, then it would be a different world. Okay, because the world is as we are. The world is a projection of our consciousness, just as the body is a projection of the consciousness. Thoughts are a projection of consciousness. It's a choice. It's a subtle shift in consciousness, a subtle intention. You know, when I said, imagine the sunset, that was a subtle intention in consciousness. So this week, all week, we'll be practicing sutras, which are subtle shifts in consciousness. Very subtle shifts in consciousness that will change our experience of ourselves. And when we change our experience of ourselves, then because reality is different in different states of consciousness, then we'll change our experience of the world. The world is a phantom, it's a dream in consciousness. Just like everything else is an impermanent expression of consciousness. Consciousness is the only reality. And if you can get familiar with this part of your being, then there is no fear of death, there is no craving, no addiction, there is no resistance, there is just joy, there's creativity, there is infinite energy, because if there is one energy that, okay, so these are just simple principles that we'll try and understand, because this is the last book, it's an extension, that your body is a process, not a structure. Your body is an energy field. Your genes can be turned on and off. You can change your brain structure. You can change your telomeres, which are little buttons at the end of your chromosomes that shift your genetic biological clock. You can change your relationship with time, because time doesn't exist other than in your consciousness. And that the key to all this transformation in your body is in your own consciousness. And we will also learn that this can only be done by going to the deepest level. When we go to the deepest level, then there is effortless spontaneity in choiceless awareness. Choiceless awareness means you allow the whole universe to flow through you, and you just introduce subtle intention. This whole week, the sutra practice, which comes from the great teachers of yoga, like Patanjali, and even going back in mythology and history to the time of Shiva. Shiva is supposed to be the first yogi. Everything is subtle intention in consciousness. Now you know what subtle intention is. Just a little shift in quality of attention. And that the greatest mystery of the universe is love, which is the essence of our spirit. That when we are experiencing this part of ourselves, our core consciousness, we have boundless imagination and creativity. We invite grace. Grace is synchronicity, good luck, or the great feeling, the great presence that the divine is always present, and that we are instruments for the evolution of the universe. And the most important principle, that we have a certain energy that never runs out. Okay, because the energy of the universe is spiritual energy. It's the elements and forces of the universe. So this week, remember one principle. Is it easy? Is it easy? Is it fun? Am I getting results? If you can say yes to all three things, then you're plugged in. You're tuned in. If it's not easy, if it's not fun, and if you're not getting results, or even one of those things is missing, then you're not plugged in. We are the energy of the universe. We are the infinite creativity of the universe. We are the imagination of the universe. And as again Rumi says, by God, when you find yourself, when you see yourself, by God, when you see your beauty, you'll be the idol of yourself. Okay, now I just want to take you through an exercise. I want to go back to this slide. Okay, can everyone just look at this picture a little bit? Because we're going to do a subtle intention exercise to start this morning. We're going to do a subtle intention exercise so that we want to shift our experience of our own body from being a physical body to a light body in consciousness, which is closer to the reality, okay? So just look at this picture for a few seconds, and then I'm going to take you through an exercise. Okay, now close your eyes and put your attention in your heart. And just for a couple of minutes, let's experience gratitude for all the things that we could be grateful for. Gratitude is a way to unleash spiritual energy. Because when we experience gratitude, then our ego steps out of the way. Your ego cannot dominate you when you're experiencing gratitude. So just think of things that you could be grateful for with your attention in your heart. Let go. Now, everyone in this room has learned primordial sound meditation, the mantra that you received. So, very gently, with your eyes closed, introduce your mantra in your consciousness. It's just a way of going a little deeper. And remember, when you repeat the mantra, it's effortless. There's no concentration. It just comes and goes like any other thought. Okay, let go of the mantra now and bring your awareness, your consciousness into your whole body. Have awareness in your whole body, consciousness in your whole body, consciousness in every cell of your body.